Hey there, toy collector friends and Transformers fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Triple TC, that's the time travelling toy collector, and today we are continuing our look at the Transformers Timelines box set 2, also from Hearts of Steel, which is what the first box set represented, and this time we're looking at Bumblebee. So this box set came complete with Bumblebee and Megatron as they appeared within the Hearts of Steel comic series. Which is a very, for those of you who've not seen the other videos in this series, it's a very sort of industrial revolution, steampunk kind of vibe. It's an imagining of some of the Transformers that were on Earth awakening a good couple of hundred years earlier than perhaps they originally did. And the deco is very steampunk, steam train, industrial revolution. So let's get these figures in hand. We're going to be looking today, in this video at least, in some detail at the Bumblebee figure. Now, already you can see immediately, and I love this, immediately we can see that it's Bumblebee. That head sculpt screams Bumblebee. There's no mistaking that particular head sculpt. And those blue eyes and that head design, and on that head design, how fantastic that we get to see again all around the crest, around the base of the head, there is that wonderful riveting, and the riveting you can see across all of the design. It's everywhere you look. That it's a very well thought through realization of this quite classic figure, I would say. The chest there has the Autobot logo, very shiny and metallic on the front there. Some lovely blue detailing on the base of the chest area, and then we see some mechanical robot detailing there around the waist. As we're at the waist, I can confirm some really nice waist articulation, as there is with the arms. You've got everything you could possibly want, and these shoulder sections, which are positioned here, which you can adjust them slightly if you so wished, but I kind of like them just straight out. They don't really preclude any of the obvious movements. Obviously, if you wanted to do a complete cycle, they're in the way, but I've never actually understood why we need them to go all the way around. What sort of posing is that's going to require? He comes with this this hammer, which I really like. Initially, I thought, I don't understand the logic of having a hammer. I was trying to think back to when it was quite a long time ago that I looked at the art for this series, and I don't recall him having a hammer, but that could just be my memory playing tricks on me. But whether it's in there or not, I really like it, and I like the fact we've got a double-sided hammer so that the Autobot insignia is on both sides. I like that, because often with things, you get an insignia on one side, but the other side is left blank, and I find that a frustrating lack of attention to detail. Not an issue with this figure. We also get this tiny little handgun, mini blaster for Bumblebee, yeah, I like it. It's very in keeping. I strongly suspect, looking at the design of it, it will be incorporated into his alt mode. I don't know whether the hammer is incorporated into his alt mode or not, but there may be some onboard storage. So let's carry on moving down. Again, we can see some lovely detailing on the front there. We've got these wonderful cogs. Hope you can see that. These wonderful cogs there as part of the leg design. And there at the front, we have the sort of cattle, what do you call it? Cattle scoop, sort of encourage them out of the way. So you have that there, but they're forming his feet. I'm saying that like it's going to be the front of the truck, the train. I think it is, but obviously I don't know yet because I've not transformed him. The side of the legs, there's lots of nice detailing, and we do have the train track aspects there. That's the same on both sides of the legs. We do have, it's very stiff, I will say, some good articulation everywhere you would expect to see the articulation. So we've got all of that going on. I can't tell you how stiff that leg actually is. Pretty stiff. And you do have ankle tilt and a bit of rock as well. So that's all good. These are supposed to be out, I think, so I'm very mindful I keep pushing them in. but I think they're supposed to be out like that. That's certainly how they were coming out of the box. I'm going to leave them there like that for now. So that's sort of the front. If we take a look around the back of the figure, then there is some hollowness here, but it's very dark, and again, you're not really going to see it, to be perfectly honest. There's no obvious line of sight from the front to know that they are hollow, especially when you look on the interior of the legs. The detailing here is really good, so you're very much distracted from the fact that there might be some hollowing around the back of the legs. The rest of the figure doesn't fare quite so well. There is quite a bit of waffling here, and the back is very, very hollow, as are the backs of the hands, obviously for where the fists are going to go in. So I get it, and it is a deluxe class, so you know there's not a lot of budget for extra plastic, etc., etc. But yeah, there's quite a bit here, and you know, I appreciate some of that is there to facilitate the transformation. It's a little bit of a shame. It just detracts a little bit. But again, as I frequently say, I'm not going to be posing Bumblebee or many of my figures with their back to me, you know. And just as I've got him standing there in front of the box, I just sort of really want to take a moment to say, sorry, as I adjust the camera, that I think the colour scheme here is beautiful. That sort of shiny yellow come gold metallic paint that they used on him really is terrific. Some of you may have noticed, and I haven't sort of commented on it, that it does actually say B on his shoulder pauldrons there. That will become, I'm confident, a bit more apparent in the vehicle mode. But overall, I think we have a really wonderful looking figure here. I really, really like it. For size comparison, because that's very important, let's be logical, and the first thing we can compare him alongside is and I'll probably need to pull out slightly to do this the justice it warrants. Just get the legs nice and straightened up a bit. Maybe angle that down a bit. Why are you not standing up for me, Optimus? Don't be a pain in the posterior. So yeah, here we have Hearts of Steel Optimus Prime alongside Bumblebee. Let's pull out slightly more. There we go. Yeah, so there's Optimus Prime alongside Bumblebee, so you get a sense of scaling there, and I think that looks quite good. I'll take that. There he is against Hearts of Steel Starscream. And of course here he is against Hearts of Steel Megatron, who we'll be looking at in our next video on this particular topic. For wider classifications, because if you don't have the Hearts of Steel figures, that all sort of means nothing. So here he is with, and I have to move out a bit further for this one, here he is with War for Cybertron, Earthrise Megatron. So you can see there's quite a bit of difference there. Here he is with Kingdom Rodimus Prime. And lastly, but by no means leastly, here he is with concept art Megatron from the Bumblebee movie. So quite a difference there. And it's quite nice to finish with two concept pieces on that front, I think. So, Bumblebee the figure, I would say articulation is everything you'd expect it to be. The figure itself has very nice presence. I know he's small, deluxe class, and a small deluxe class for that, but he is Bumblebee, and that is kind of his sort of scout size. That's what you'd expect. Let's see what he looks like in his alt mode. Don't touch that dial. And here we have Bumblebee all transformed up, or should that be down, into his alt mode, which in this case is a little golden steam engine. I mean, and it just looks terrific. I mean, you know, I've never been a big train. You can see the wheels moving there as he rolls. So it all works rather well. But it's just a beautifully detailed little steam engine. So let's get him up in hand so you can see him in a bit more detail. again, you can see all the detailing along the side there. The wheels are freewheeling, so it does get that nice degree of movement. You can see the Autobot symbol there pulled out in red on that sort of silver background. I do love the color choices here, the way the silver and the sort of silver gunmetal grey and the yellow and the gold pop quite well. Same for the engine area here, which of course now you can see B is on the side there. You can see these, what have become these sort of pipes at the back, really nicely done. I don't know about yourselves, but this panel, the way it sort of plops down the side, now it's not where his head is, but it just reminds me of the back of the old G1 Bumblebee toy, where there was that panel that just sort of folded down with his head on it, and it sort of had that rear detailing that indicated it might have been a spare wheel, etc. And it just really reminds me of that, which is just a bit fun. You can see on the top there is the golden crest that was previously his chest with the Autobot logo there, and the rest of the train design is very consistent all the way through, with that wonderful detailing of the rivets, etc. If we take a little look upside down, there's not much to see in terms of robot kibble. If you know that you're looking at robot legs and arms, but otherwise you don't know. And what you can see is that the hammer and the pistol both tuck in to very well conceived spaces under this. So where there was a hollow gap, it's now been filled out with his weapons. So that's the pistol there sitting in between his fists, and the hammer sits there. So again, really nice. There's nothing on here we can use to display the weapons. So there's no onboard weapon storage sort of on, as I say, on display with in the alt mode, but it is tucked away, as you saw there, very neatly underneath. So it doesn't compromise the ability to roll. There's no scratching taking place. So all in all, he's Diddy, but I think it's very, very, very Bumblebee. If Bumblebee did steam trains, this would be it. And of course, Bumblebee does do steam trains, and here's the evidence. And he does it, I think, really, really well. So again, this was not going to be a line that I was intrigued by it, but I wasn't really clamoring to get it until I saw the first ones in hand, and I thought, yeah, no, actually, that's too good. That's too good a niche alternate take on some classic characters. And so, yeah, I absolutely signed up and bought into it. And I think Bumblebee looks really good in this mode. And I think it's got all the makings of a really excellent twin pack. So let me know what you think down below in the comments. Have you collected the Hearts of Steel set? Have you got set 1? Are you trying to get hold of set 2 with Bumblebee and Megatron? Have you got it in hand? Are you enjoying messing with them? Do you find them to be really quite fun to play with, or do you find them to be really irritating and the bits won't stay in? I must say, this transformation went really, really well. I had no issues at all. The instructions were very, very clear, and it was quite fun to do. So from a off-camera transformation report, I would say this was really straightforward, really fun. Didn't leave me stressed. I was able to do it very, very quickly. Everything connected, no issues whatsoever. Really nice, really nicely done. Yeah, I'm very, very happy that I'm personally speaking, I'm very, very happy that I've picked this set up. I think it's niche. I think some people will probably go, I'm not into that sort of look and that sort of aesthetic. I would have said the same about myself, but seeing it, getting it in hand and messing with it, I'm really glad that I made the concerted effort to order this set and get it in hand. Are you looking forward? Quick question. Are you looking forward to the rest of the timelines range? We haven't yet been told what the 2026 timelines interpretation of our key characters are going to be. I know from a live stream, I think they were saying that it's going to be something more creative. So I don't know whether that means they're stepping away from an established media, whereas this is very rooted definitely in the Hearts of Steel comics. They may be stepping away from an established media and maybe doing something a bit more avant-garde. What do you think it might be? What are your predictions? I have none. I'm constantly bamboozled and surprised by what they come up with, so I am quite keen to not throw my hat in the ring and say what I think it's going to be, because I don't know. I really don't know, but I would love to know what you folk out there think. Thank you so much for sticking with me for the last 15-20 minutes. It's been a joy having you here whilst I've been enthusing and looking at my new toy. I'll be back real soon to look at Megatron and give him the close-up and personal attention that I think he warrants. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. It's absolutely free, obviously, and it really helps the channel, you know, and it also really boosts me when I see me getting ever closer to my next subscriber milestone. That's super helpful if you could do that. But if not, it would just be fantastic if you could like the video. It just helps other people get a chance to see it, and it also means that I'm not just sitting here talking into the darkness, which sometimes it can feel a bit like. Anyway, thank you so much for your time. I've been the Triple TC, that's the Time Travelling Toy Collector. This has been the Hearts of Steel Bumblebee, part of the Timelines 2-pack, and I'll be back real soon, as I've said, to look at Megatron. Until then, it just remains for me to say that a thing of beauty really is a toy forever. Take care, and bye-bye for now.